Good. I'm very excited today.
Are you?
Look
That's
who's
good.
here. So, okay, I didn't have a podcast episode, and her and I were BSing over the phone, and we're going to try not to swear because we are Christians.
I know. I'm actually
Well,
in
sometimes we swear.
active in recovery from not.
You actually swore today, probably.
Did I? I did because I was at the gym and I was hurting and I'm frustrated.
But we really are trying not to swear. We're both on that same journey
Yeah.
together. We
For
kind of
sure.
help each other, but kind of don't.
Sometimes I go, "Oops, I swore."
I know, we do apologize.
Yeah.
But we're on the journey. So I try not to swear on these podcasts just because I don't care when other people swear. Because, like I said, we do sometimes as well. We're
Right.
trying not to. I don't care, and she doesn't care when other people do.
No.
I just know we both have children. And when we're listening to podcast episodes, it sucks that you have to turn it off when your kids are in the car.
Yeah, for sure. Wyatt actually listens to some vulgar music, which I'm not a
Yeah.
big fan of. But also, there's one. This is a pet peeve.
Okay, wait. Well, just save your pet peeve. She's getting too excited.
But it's part of this.
I know. Okay, so that's gonna be. I'll have her say that instead. So we're always talking about pet peeves together. So I'm like, let's just do like I didn't have an episode recorded. We're BSing and talking about pet peeves anyway. I'm like, hold that thought, come over and let's talk about this together. So this is just like a very laid back episode. We're going to be talking about pet peeves. And you know what? I haven't even introduced my guest.
Shooting from the hip.
Yeah. So this is my very best friend. I probably have talked about her on the podcast before.
Yeah.
And if you follow me on social media, you probably see her on my stories or whatever. She's been my best friend for
A long time.
Okay, we don't know. We're
not
not
as long as you and Berg, but I feel like we're like family.
Yes.
Like
so
her
she's
parents are like parents to me. And
I married her cousin, which
Yep.
Joey's basically they grew up like brother and sister.
Yep.
But we were best friends even before I dated Joey the first time.
Yep.
So
for
this is
sure.
Melissa Inglese. And her first time coming on this podcast was supposed to be about some
CrossFit?
CrossFit and some
Yeah.
other things. And she's like, I'm not ready yet.
No, I wasn't. I think because I really wanted to get my L1, my coaching cert, just to feel like I'm more legit, like
Yeah.
not just some random talking about my love of CrossFit. Like I have a background and some knowledge with it now, so I feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, and she would be totally fine before, but that's just how she is. She likes to whatever. So she'll be on again, but today it's going to be very laid back. And
Yeah.
there's, just so you know, a day in the life of my house right now. There's Baxter outside the door because he's obsessed with Melissa.
Mhm.
And then we also we don't have a driveway right now. We've moved in the new house after the fire, and I live in dirt.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
I was nervous. I was like, "Ooh, can I walk through here?" And
But it's a mess even before today.
Yeah.
And they're pouring concrete today, so that's great because I have a very organic, neutral colored theme in my house. So everything's very gets dirty because my son Hudson's outside 24/7 with the dogs.
Yeah.
And they all track it in. So that if you hear background noises, that's why. So this is very unfiltered, unedited. I know, right outside the front door, which my office is in the front of the house.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about pet peeves and stuff today. So what were you going to say, Melissa? Now that I introduced you and everything finally.
Well, because we were talking about swearing, and there's a couple swears I don't say. Sometimes I make my own up, but the GD word.
Yeah.
Or taking the Lord's name in vain. That's just one thing that I absolutely do not do.
Same Z's.
So,
I never ever, and I never have, even if I'm like reading, if I'm reading like a meme or something to you,
yeah,
I'll even, if it has the F word, I might say that. You know what
I'm not, sure.
I'm not like F word.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like F, you see, you know, like I'm not
F,
doing that.
asterisk, exclamation point. Okay.
I'm not doing that. But if it does say, I'll say GD or cheese and rice because I just don't say those.
Well, legit, even when there's a song, I'm like, blah, blah. Or just like, don't.
I know. Like there's, and
Panic at the Disco was the one.
Just going to say the same thing. I'm like, why'd they ruin the song?
Yes. Why?
I'm like closing the GD. Like I always change it.
Oops. I think I just smacked my microphone.
Oh, that's okay. I do that all the time.
My back is bugging me a little bit.
Oh, is this not a comfy couch?
It's very comfy. It's my back. I'm not comfy
okay, so
ever.
tell them what happened to your back.
Well, that's a pet peeve too, I guess. No, I hurt my back.
That's it. Period.
Done. End of story. I actually have disc protrusions L4, L5, and then I have an annular tear. It's not been fun.
No.
So it's like a major setback for me. I was training for an ultra, well, trying to. And then I'm, as you know, Minnow said earlier, can I call you Minnow?
That's
it
okay.
Minnow?
I say
Okay.
Minnow on here all the time. I'm like, that's my nickname. So
I
for
really
those,
like CrossFit, so it's kind of put a damper on some of those things as well. Even everyday life,
yeah,
truthfully, like my job, I'm a hairdresser, and it's really hard, not necessarily standing, but like some of the positions that you need to be in.
So now what everyone's probably thinking is that you hurt your back because of CrossFit, and
Right.
that's probably a pet peeve. So why don't you tell them that that's probably not the reason?
No, it's definitely not the reason. Actually, I've had, my physical therapist and the physical therapy assistant. I went and saw a neurosurgeon just to make sure everything was legit and kosher and I wasn't going to need surgery or anything. And they all tell me it's a good thing that I'm as strong as I am and that my core is strong as it is, because potentially it could have been a lot worse than it is. So.
And I bet you, and maybe I'm wrong, so let me know, but I bet you bouncing back will be faster because you're fit.
Yeah, so Margot, my physical therapist at the Real Heel in Iron Mountain, Michigan, I'll give them a shout out. They've been amazing. And she actually said, I've never seen anybody like be where I'm at as soon as I am. I think part of it is I'm very determined.
You actually do the stuff that they tell you to do at home. And
yep. So I've been really doing a lot of, I guess you could say, rehabbing, and really trying to pay attention to that. But I did have a little setback on Monday. I got on the rowing machine thinking I was fine. Everything felt really good. And then as the day progressed, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
So like, it's like a 9-month, probably on the bottom end recovery. It could take longer as well. Also, I have to really learn to be patient.
9 months?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. And now you think you're doing it faster than it'll be faster than 9 months?
I don't know. I'm hoping it's faster.
Hi. Lane's, you're going to have to walk through the garage. You can walk through the garage. Do you want to come say hi to the podcast people?
Yeah.
You don't?
Why?
I'm going with BJ to get food.
Just leave through the garage and stay out of their way the best you can.
Walk like right along the side of the garage. That's where I came in.
Do not
Don't
let
trip.
the dogs out. Don't trip and don't let the dogs. Okay, bye, Lane. This is very unfiltered.
Yeah, sorry.
But okay,
Yeah,
so anyways,
anyway.
9 months you were saying.
Yeah,
I
they
did not
say
know
for a
that.
disc. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
and I have
insane.
two protrusions. So a protrusion's a little bit different than a bulge. I guess it's less than a bulge, which I praise God for that, right? But the tear is something that I'm concerned about. So like no twisting. And there's a lot of that in like everyday life that you actually don't even realize.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
okay, so before we get off this topic, I know we want to talk about pet peeves, but my last podcast episode was about what my current routine is and like fitness related and wellness. I mean, a lot of people that listen to this are wellness girlies
Right, yep,
and like
for
fitness.
sure.
So wait, so I actually was injured right after you. If not injured like from doing anything. I think I was sleeping on my stupid mattress that Joey put the box spring in. Pet peeve. Stupidity.
People don't do things right way.
Joey put up my box spring in upside down, and they're like hollow.
Yeah.
And then we slept on the mattress. And then from that day forward, I was hurt. So anyways, I just had started getting back into working out. I had to take a break. So anyways, you were helping me, telling me what I could do and what not to do. So for people that may have an injury or whatever, maybe share some of that. Like what can they do?
Well, so first of all, I highly recommend listening to your body. So that's something that I've learned in the 3.5 years I've been doing CrossFit, because it's so different than like a traditional going to the gym or like your Beachbody workouts or whatever. It's just a little more intense. And before I get off track, it doesn't have to be as intense, but I'm super competitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned to really listen to my body and kind of like set my ego aside. So that's something that I think a lot of us in the fitness world kind of struggle with, right? You're like, oh, I'll just work through it. Oh, I'll work through it, whatever, right? Well, my first recommendation is go see your physical therapist. I don't know if you're going to need like a consult or whatever else, but to me, I feel like they can really do a good eval on you. Some people need a referral.
Yeah, Joey
So-
did for his knee.
He did?
He did need a referral, but then he ended up, I'm like, go to what is it called
The
again?
Real Heal.
The Real Heal. And that's where he's going, I think this week. I don't know.
Good,
for sure.
because I don't think you need a referral for them.
Okay. So he
And they
went
will
to the
take
doctor
insurance.
and the other place couldn't get in him. Anyways, long
Yeah.
story, but he's going
Yeah.
there now. I'm like,
Good.
oh, good.
Because they'll really take care of you. So that is my
He
first thing.
name dropped Melissa too. So
Did
that,
he?
yeah.
Can you get me in? My cousin comes here.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I heard about you from Melissa. That's my cousin. They're like, oh, and she laughed.
Well, honestly, I've like not like patting myself on the back, but
You
I send a lot of people there. And then I'm like, I'm done sending people here because now I can't get in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like we do with Amy.
So, yeah, our nail lady. Well, it's the same.
We don't
thing
like to tell people who we get our nails done by. We go to the same girl because then we
because now
can't
she's
get in.
busy, yeah. But same thing with Barb and Jamie Hicks at Family Chiropractic. They're like my go-to people as well. And so I really spend a lot of time there. It's just that for me with my injury, I didn't have the classic symptoms of what was going on.
Right.
And I don't think I'm like super strong or anything, but because I'm so strong that, and my core is so strong that I just didn't have any pain down my legs or anywhere else. It was just really on that left side and that one small part there. So I would say, listen to your body, get with a physical therapist, go see a chiropractor, and all kind of depending on what your injury is as well. I mean,
Yeah. Is there workouts that you can do? So when I took a couple months off, I really focused on like this is before the box spring happened. But I was doing a lot of deep core work and things with bands and just what I could do, but I did not want to like work out or lift or anything. Now I'm back into that. I'm on week 4 and all that stuff. So what would you recommend? I guess it's still listen to your body.
Yeah, I think it just really depends on where you're at. And also I think mobility.
Yes.
Yeah. So like nobody wants to do mobility, right? It's like boring.
I do not. It's so boring.
I hate it myself. I'm not going to lie. I don't think you get the, endorphin hype off of it. Like just sitting there stretching, right? But it is insanely, insanely important. And I think very vital to, if you're going to be working out as hard as we work out. I mean, your workouts are super hard, but they're totally different than mine. So it doesn't mean you should do any different of a mobility routine.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I feel like having a really good warm up as well will stop that too.
I know. And so many people skip a warm up and a cool down.
Yep.
And I think once you start to, I feel like in my 20s, I skipped it a lot more. And as you get older and you realize this stuff matters.
It does.
It really does matter just for like everyday life and just longevity. I think like long term now, long game longevity makes a huge difference.
Which is super, we really got off subject, but it's really important for
shocker.
For ADHD, for women to strength train. And now I'm not saying do CrossFit or do Beachbody or do whatever, but it is so important for women
weight
to
training.
live. Yes. It's just like, and people want to lose weight and they're like, they go cardio right out of their minds. And I'm like, dude,
every time.
Yes.
Like, and I have so many friends, and I won't name drop anybody, but I have so many friends that I talk to either online or, are friends in person, and they know me and they know you as the wellness girlies or the fitness people. And then they want to like see what we're doing, but they just like, I always feel like it's, or even you, when I'm like hammering you to use my journal and then you did, and now you're obsessed.
Yeah. Very much so,
it's always like, I feel like the last person you listen to is like your best friend or like your sister.
Another pet peeve.
Yep. Pet peeve.
But we can intertwine this.
Yes. Because everything's a pet peeve to us. But anyways, I can't say that's enough. And I know you agree with that, is women are not, you're not going to get this be bulky and bulk up unless you intentionally try to.
Right.
It's going to take a lot of hard work to bulk up as a woman.
Right. And like, I'm a little thick right now and bulky, but my workouts are so different. And I've had to learn, if I'm going to do CrossFit and going to do it competitively like I am. And when I say competitively, I'm not competing, but just at that, level. I had to learn, and this because you've actually kind of talked me, down from orbit several times, but like, oh my gosh, like nothing fits. And I legitimately had 0 dresses to wear to a wedding because of, I don't want to say I'm bulky because we just talked about that, but like it's just because of my workouts and I'm okay with being that type of fit right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's all your goals.
Yeah. Amanda Barnhart did a great post on it. She's a professional CrossFit athlete. Pretty sure it was her. Just like you have to get, like, it's okay if this is where you are in the season, in the moment.
Yeah.
It's okay. You
Yeah.
know? So
For sure. And for me, that's not my goals. My goals, I like to look like fit and toned and feel strong. It's a feeling.
very Giselle like.
Very Giselle like. That is like my idol is Giselle the supermodel, which that I should really like think of somebody like dumb myself down a little bit.
No,
then
because she looks great.
she does look great,
And
but
you
it's
have
out of reach. I
I-
feel like to have a supermodel be your goals.
I disagree because
But I
you're
guess
tall and
you're
thin
saying,
that.
like,
yeah, because like I
a
like the
athlete.
CrossFit
Yeah.
athletes.
It's
Yeah.
good. Like reach for the stars, I guess.
Exactly. My grandma used to always say that. I can't remember her saying. I'll have to. That would be for. a
Wait,
different
did she say
podcast.
reach for the stars and if you fall or reach for the and if you fall short you hit the moon? Or is what's the
I
saying?
can't remember. We have
Joey's,
to ask Marcio Aquario.
well, we can call Joey right now because I'm like, hey, I call him all the time and he's like at work or whatever. I'm like, what's the saying? Is it like play it by year or is it play it by ear? Because I don't know. Anyways, I say everything wrong. But yeah, anyways, weight training, we're huge on that. And I did last week, I did the episode, I talked about my current routine, but basically in a nutshell, I'm strength training and I'm walking and or zone 2 cardio.
Yeah,
I'm not,
zone 2 cardio is super important as well. I'm glad you brought that up, not to
Yes.
interrupt you, because it is very, very important to be in a zone 2, especially like I'm 44. So at my age, I have to
I'm
like
39.
yeah,
So it
yeah.
just changes. Like in my
Yep.
20s, I was doing turbo.
Yep.
Turbo, I was even teaching it.
Yep.
And that was a high, like 60-minute workout. And you're just like, go, go, go the whole time or running on a treadmill.
Mhm.
And it's like, first of all, that stuff's hard to me. I love lifting weights.
Yeah,
That's
me
way
too.
more
Yeah.
enjoyable. But I know everyone's different. Anyways, we really got off topic.
We did, but that, you know, because you are very much into wellness and fitness and whatever, I just think a lot of women forget that it's, you know, the importance of strength training. And you
Mhm.
can use 5-pound dumbbells, you can use bands, you can use your body weight. Body weight is huge.
Mhm.
Like if, and you can do them at home. Like
Mhm.
people
I
like,
work out only at home. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, it's
I
just
can't
whatever
afford
you
a
want.
gym membership. I can't afford. Well, okay, fine. I understand it can get expensive. I lucked out because CrossFit membership does tend to be pricey. You get what you pay for though, like
Yeah.
all my programming and whatever. I clean the gym for my membership, so that's kind of a bonus,
Yeah.
especially for me. But
And it helps her out too, because I mean, she has
Yep.
tons of kids and she's always, you know, teaching classes. And
Corey,
yeah.
yeah, yep.
So it works out
absolutely.
for both of you. Great.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
So okay.
Anyway.
So there we go. Here's another pet peeve. I don't have time and I can't afford it.
Oh yeah, that is a
Yes,
pet
you
peeve.
have time and yes, you can afford it because you can do things at home. Also, there are so many things online now, which I'm hopefully looking into getting into, like doing some online courses.
Yeah, I told her because you guys know that I'm into like creating digital courses. I have the foundation course and I actually mentor women teaching them how to do this. And look, she's my best friend, so she just gets all the information for free. I'm like, dude, you need to create this. I mean, I do that for
You
everything
do.
for
You
always.
really do. Yeah.
Like you
Yep.
should do this, you should do that.
Yeah.
Even with your back in the day I was telling you to do that with stuff with hair
Yeah.
because she's a
Yep.
hairdresser and stuff. Anyways, that is a pet peeve, but I want to say something about it. I totally understand because it's all about your mindset and your
Mhm.
perspective. And if your perspective is, and the story we're telling ourselves is, I don't have time, I don't have the energy or whatever
Yep.
whatever, insert your excuse, whatever the thing is that you say, that's your good belief.
Right.
And that's what you're going to wake up every single day. And it is hard when you first start getting into fitness and getting into working out and lifting weights and doing it's not easy at
No.
first.
No,
In the first week, maybe 2 weeks, it's probably going to suck.
it's going to suck bad and you're going to be sore, but it's such
Yes.
a good sore.
I know, but I feel like after you get into just even a few days, then it gets a little bit easier
Mhm.
and a little bit easier. And then once it becomes a habit, you feel naked not doing it.
For sure. There are some people though, like I can't wrap my hands around it, but there are some people that truly don't enjoy working out. And then I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't want to do things that I don't enjoy. You know what I mean? Like there's
That's
part
again
of,
a perspective, I think. They could make themselves I guess.
Yeah, like people hate running. I
I don't
wanna
like
run
running.
Yeah, like I don't want to run fast, but I'll run 50 miles through the woods and spend the day doing that.
Yeah, because
Do you know-
you like to do that.
Yeah. So like I can't imagine.
Maybe the person hasn't found what they like then.
Yeah, like you have, because I think there's something for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You
Like
know?
Pilates and stuff.
Yes,
Because
Pilates
that's
is really good too.
yeah. So that would be like strength training.
Yep.
And conditioning and
And
mobility
lengthening
and,
and
yeah,
strengthening
all
and-
the things
yeah, mhm.
actually. But I'd rather
Yeah.
just lift weights.
I know
So-
Liz is the same way. Like anytime there's a heavy lifting day, her and I are like, yeah, this is great. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we love that. Or when you're going to do a new 1 rep. And like today I said to my friend that was there, I was like, that looked really easy for you. She's like, yeah, I have a new rep. I go, put some weight on the bar.
Yep. I know.
It's just something.
And
we
I
like.
actually like used to hate leg day because it's hard, but now that's like my favorite day of the
Mhm.
week. And I actually added in more than one leg day per week.
2 days a week, I think
Yeah.
is good when you're like in a traditional setting.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, it's the largest muscle. So it wipes you out, right?
Yeah. And I feel like it just helps with core strength, like all the
Yeah.
things. It just helps.
Deadlifts are great
Yep.
for all over body. Yeah.
Okay. So let's go on with our stupid pet peeves. Okay. I got one that we both have. So I'll start off with this pet peeve. That first half of the podcast was just shooting the SHIT. I shouldn't even spell it. Hey,
Shooting the poop.
shooting the poop. It's just like, we can't come, we need new sayings. Help us. Send
Yeah.
us new sayings so then we can replace, like I always say, don't half blank it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like ass isn't a swear.
It
Sorry.
is though, Melissa. we can't come. That's a swear.
Okay.
So what am I supposed to
It's
say?
slang.
So yeah, I know, but what do you say instead? I need new sayings so then I can still
I say that
my.
all the time, like on the daily. That's a pet peeve.
Yeah, I know, because
When anytime someone
how you
half
do it. That was the
yeah.
episode I did 2 weeks ago. It's how you do anything is how you do everything. And I
Mhm.
truly believe that. And that is a pet peeve of mine. And that's like our family motto. But when I was doing that episode, you guys, I just kept wanting, I think I actually ended up saying it one time.
yeah.
Half, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Anyways, but okay, so this is I don't know where we got. Okay, pet peeves. Let's get on track here. So one thing that is my pet peeve, and I may have talked about it on this podcast before, but I know we share this, and we could have had Lane come sit between us.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
He would have been right there with, and he could have just talked about like an hour about it, is when people smack their food. Like, can we just like, and they're 40-year-olds at a restaurant that I'm on a date with my husband, and there's somebody or slurping their soup, right?
Or when you're eating,
That too.
blowing your nose, not farting. That probably sounds like a
Yeah, I
fart.
forget. Most people are listening to
Yeah.
this, but this is on YouTube. So if you want to watch us,
Are we gonna? People are gonna see us?
yeah,
Oh man, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
clips on social media. I know we're in our workout clothes and neither of us are ready, but who cares? This will be on YouTube. So you can go to youtube.com/Mindy Wonder if you want to watch. Otherwise, obsessed or not interested, you can listen to the podcast. Anyways, people smacking their food. Lord help me, because here's what happens to somebody. It's actually a disorder. What's it called?
And Lord help them.
Yeah, they needed to be raised different. They
I
don't even
know what
realize-
it's called. Actually, it's
It's-
very.
Maybe I should Google it, but
Google it. Nails on chalkboard. Like
Yeah.
legitimately, like we will, if we're together, we will like
Just stare at
or
each
we're
other.
Like this.
texting
my
each
gosh,
other,
can you
talking
see it?
smack. Oh my gosh, why did they eat it like that? Did their parents did they not learn manners?
Dude, sometimes Wyatt will. I send you videos of him too. That's so mean. Sorry, Wyatt. I mean, I love you very much.
Sorry, why?
But I don't think he's like trying it. But it's mostly when I see him eating chips or an apple. And-
Selective sound sensitivity syndrome.
No, there's something else. Maybe.
I
But
don't know.
anyway, I wanna-
Anyways,
Okay.
so
It's
we
really
just
available.
just FYI, we're gonna get right back on track with the pet peeves about smacking food. I just want to let you know that in the middle of this interview, this day, I cannot. The people who are doing our driveway and pouring the concrete decided to dig up this area, and there was a cable there, and that cable actually was our internet. So I called my husband. He's like, first of all, he goes, is there an orange thing sticking out of the ground, or do you see an orange cable? I go, no, nowhere. She's like, what's that big?
I can see it and I'm blind.
I can't believe I couldn't see it,
Yeah.
but yep. big orange cable sticking out of the ground. So they
That almost
chop.
looks copper though, because I wouldn't say cable. Maybe that's what he means, because it's like
It
stiff.
looks orange to me. She says it looks
That
copper.
doesn't look stiff.
Either way,
That's
they
what I
just
mean.
chopped my internet off.
Yeah. So well.
We're using the hotspot, so hopefully this works out great.
So what were we talking about? People chewing with
smacking food and how I get filled with rage. What are you looking at?
There's a dog that doesn't have a human by it. Oh
Where?
yeah, I see her. I see her white hair. Okay, she's nosing,
Oh,
checking you out, checking you. Look at her. Because she was in. What's
she's
her
looking
called?
at my flowers. That's just
Yeah.
the neighbor. That's Irene.
Okay. Oh,
I
Is
think
it?
it is.
Oh,
Doesn't it look
okay.
like Irene?
no. Yeah, maybe. All right. Squirrel.
I told her we can't do anything bad because I don't feel like editing this. So it's an unedited, unfiltered. So
Yeah,
just don't say
that's all right.
anything that you don't want everyone in the world to hear. So smacking food pet peeve. Let's just go on to the next because I think I just want to know. First of all, I'm not judging somebody as like I can't be your friend if you do this because I know Melissa doesn't know. But what I'm saying is like actually one of the 5 kids does it, and he'll even say no one's ever told me till I met Minnow. That's what my stepkids call me, Minnow. And until I met Minnow, I had no idea. So he appreciates me reminding him and telling him because he doesn't want to do it. So I'm like, yes, because you don't want to be. I tell we have all boys and then Lily, you know. So I'm like, you guys are gonna go on a date someday. Like when I'm filled with
Mhm.
rage, this is what I say to my kids. Go, you guys are going to go on a date someday. And the girl, if she's like me, she's going to walk out of the restaurant if you smack your food like this.
Yeah, dude, for real.
I mean, it's true.
Like
It's gross.
I would be texting you because I'm single. I'd be texting you.
Ready to mingle though.
Maybe.
So
Get me out of this situation.
what's your criteria?
Well, you got to be a Christian.
She goes right into it
Yeah.
without skipping a beat. She's like, okay, so you have to be a Christian. You have to work out.
You have to be
six-pack.
funny.
Oh, humor for sure.
No, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I'm
mean,
joking.
Yeah, that doesn't matter at all. But you have to be funny.
She does get a little picky sometimes.
It's because I'm 44.
Yeah, and that's good. Don't settle.
No, but Christian's the big number one.
Yeah.
If
Number
you're not
one.
a Christian,
if you're lazy, you're out.
yeah,
For
bye.
sure. She wouldn't be interested in a lazy person.
No. Okay, this is not pet peeves.
Okay.
Let's stop pimping me out.
Okay. But she's single, so you said if you went on a date, you'd probably be.
I would be texting you to get me out of that situation. I am not a liar, another pet peeve. So I would have a hard time being like, oh my gosh, I have to go because whatever. I'd probably be very nervous.
Yeah.
But no way. I would never.
Yeah. No.
I'm not even going to try and train you at this point in my life either.
And I just love Joey so much. Not to make this about me and Joey, but I love him so much. And he really doesn't ever, the only thing he eats that gross, because he's like, well, do I gross you out? And he's probably like worried. And now everyone watching this, they're going to be scared to eat with us. But really, it's not like that, but it little bit is. But Joey does not gross me out. Like, I love him so much. I'm obsessed with him. He does not gross me out. But if he eats a veggie straw in my presence, I will rip the bag out of his freaking hands and throw it across the room because he goes, he does it like how Roger Rabbit eats a carrot. It's like, chunk, 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 chunk. I'm like, why are you doing this?
So it's not.
I can't. Like, I rub my ears like this. If you're watching on your YouTube, I have to rub the front and back of my ears.
Yeah, I do that a lot too. I don't know if it's like a
sensory thing.
It's like or I'm like, but is it only veggie straws?
That's all that he
Not
does.
Potato chips.
He eats probably because he puts the whole thing in instead of chomping.
So like there was
smacking.
somebody that used to do that, and I'm not name dropping because Lord knows I would be getting text messages and whatever else. But they would
tell us
chips like that. A little kid.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, dude, take a bite. Like it's and like.
Yeah. You know what? Joey just was listening to the Bob and Tom show, like the radio show. That's like
worldwide. K-Rock? Or is that even K-Rock anymore?
I don't know. But is that everywhere? Bob and Tom is everywhere, right?
Maybe.
Like worldwide or United States wide? Okay, do you guys know what the Bob and Tom? Well. Anyways, it's like talk show that we have, so I feel like other people probably listen to it too. Anyways, this guy was saying that he's an adult now, like in his 40s, and he still would catches himself putting the entire potato chip in his mouth and then letting it sit there till it got soggy and then eating it because his mom would freak out at him because she must have been like me. And he was like scared to eat a potato chip. He's like,
Oh.
I would have to leave. She'd be like, don't eat potato chips in front of me. And even in the other room, I would think she's never going to hear me. And I'd eat the potato chip and she could hear me. So then my trick was to put the potato chip in my mouth and let it get soggy.
I would gag.
I would
I
gag
can't
too.
eat a
That's
soggy chip.
I would.
Gross.
There's just a way to eat a chip, you guys, and it's just not smack, 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 and it's also not smacking with the chip. When if the whole chip's in your mouth and you're smacking it, that's insanely disgusting.
But you know what I think? I think it's just
For
some
somebody's
people
ears.
chewing because some like you never bother me. Joey doesn't bother me. Lane, Wyatt only when he's eating like apples or chips sometimes, but. I think sometimes it's the way somebody chews, whether their mouth is open or not. It's like
It's a noise.
It is.
It's a sensory noise.
Or breathing.
By the way,
heavy
we
when you
both have
eat.
ADHD and sensory issues. So I feel like if you are a smacker, don't pick up a girl or a dude that has ADHD because they're not going to be able to stand you.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. Like I never had sensory issues until like the last, maybe 10 years?
Yeah, because your ADHD symptoms probably gotten worse as you got older.
Yeah, and I'm like the person who refused to be medicated. I mean, could I be? Potentially, but I can survive. It's just actually I have a struggle more with like sensory and noise stuff than like getting my crap together.
Yeah. Oh no, she's very on time. Well, let's go into that. How do you feel? Well, what's your next pet peeve, Melissa?
I shouldn't say hate, right?
Yeah,
but
we can say hate.
I hate when people are late. Like consistently late all the time, no matter what you do. Because before I let you talk,
because I got something to say about this.
I just think it's so rude. Like it means your time is more valuable than my time. And the one thing, this is another frustrating thing I have with being injured. The one thing we can never, ever, ever, ever get back, sadly, is time.
Yeah.
You just never get that back.
Yeah, for sure. But like, tell us an example and make sure you talk in your mic just because I don't know how these are picking up. This is the first time I use this setup.
Check 1, 2.
Okay, so what's an example? You don't want to say anything? She doesn't want to be honest.
Throwing me under the... Well, yeah, I love being honest, but when people see it and hear it, and then they're like, oh my gosh, did you hear Melissa Inglese? She can't stand it when her clients are late.
Well, dude, you're a hairdresser. That's your business. And if somebody's late, then the next person. And by the way, I'm her client that has been late. So I'm throwing myself under the bus.
So the thing is like when you're like 5 minutes, so my clients train me actually, right? When you're early and you're like actually on time, I start to worry. Did something happen? Because I'm a worrier, unfortunately. It's definitely a curse. But like if you have somebody who's consistently 10, 15 minutes late, like 10 minutes is a lot for me because it does set the tone for the day. So if I have a color and a cut and I have 2 hours allotted for that, and then you come in 10, 15 minutes late, by the time you sit in my chair and we discuss actually what we're doing, then it's like 20 minutes or half hour into the appointment.
Mm-hmm.
And it really it just really kind of jacks things up a little bit. And I don't mean to be like, but.
Right. No, I totally understand just because I'm probably not, it's not as a big of a pet peeve of mine, but also it's because I'm not dealing with on a daily basis.
Right.
But when I do have to deal with it in a certain situation in our lives, it's like makes me want to tap. Like I'm tapping my forehead for those that are listening because it lowers your cortisol levels when you do that, because it stresses me out, because it's just like we have 5 kids. The world doesn't revolve around this other person who's always making our lives up in the air. I won't say names, but it's like, it's just a disrespect when you know that there's a whole nother family system involved.
Yes.
And when you're late and you're not on time, or another thing is, what if I was a coach for child athletes and there was a kid who is always late? Obviously it's their parents getting them on time. But I would have lectures with those kids so they could go home and tell their parents. And I would be in and I was a coach for soccer. You need to be on time.
Yeah, for sure.
'Cause
Because you said everybody else, that's your team.
plus we're not going to give you as much playing time as the kids that are actually showing up for their games, showing up for practices,
Right.
and are on time. Those kids are going to they're showing that they care. They're showing that they're responsible. They're showing that they're disciplined. And that's the same thing with all the things. It's just showing people that you respect their time.
Yep.
That you're reliable.
Yep.
I don't know. That's who I want to show up as.
When you show your kids that, then that's the environment you grow up in, right? So when you're taking your kid to, why it was always like the first, like Lane, because Lane is like me.
Yes.
Lane's more like me than you with being on
for
time.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So Wyatt was always like the kid super early. So I never had to worry about it. And he hates being late.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to be on time. So I feel like if you start these good habits with your kids at a young age, it's really a good thing.
And let's not throw anybody under the bus, but Patty Kinsella is my mother. And I swear she must have ADHD too, but just different than mine.
AKA Skins.
Yeah, we call her Skins, which I have no idea where that nickname came from.
Skins, probably.
Pat Skins. My friends in middle school named her that. I don't know. Anyways, my mom, she's just always running late. She like can't. It's just like, some people are like that, and it is a character. What do you want to call it? A characteristic of ADHD.
Sure.
Because it's called time blindness. So I'm not calling all of you out who have ADHD, because I know a lot of the women who listen to this have ADHD, but like there's a way around it, because I also grew up with a mom who was just always late. Like we walked into church every single Sunday late. Like
but your dad's never late.
My dad's never late. He's the one waiting in the car for all of us girls. He had 3 daughters.
Yep.
So, and then my mom.
And Skins actually, now she has her new job, she's always on time. So I love it. She's early. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, no,
girl.
she can be.
Yeah.
It's just and so could all of us with ADHD. Mm-hmm. We all can be, and we have that potential, but it takes us, like I have a visual timer, which I don't have it up in my office. I don't know where it is, but it actually shows me how much time I have left. Like it's orange, obviously one of my favorite colors. So it'll show me, like if I have 15 minutes, it's like orange. That 15-minute block is orange as the timer is going off. So it's like anyways, it really helps. And then obviously you guys know that I'm obsessed with my hyper-focus journal, because it plans my day. So I know I have it all laid out. I'm very visual.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think people with ADHD also are very visual people, visual learners. So once you brain dump all of the stuff that's up here onto paper, and I know you use the journal too, it just makes it so much easier to be on time, to be organized, to accomplish all the things.
I like it for accomplishing and in like reiterating those goals in your mind, like daily. It's like, it's like constantly going. And then you see like, oh, I don't have to write this down anymore because I crushed that goal. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It was finishing a work. I shouldn't say I didn't work out for a lot of months. I don't know. It was like 4 months.
I was gonna say 4. Yeah.
And that's not like me.
No.
Since I was 20, before even Lane, I was working out consistently. But anyway, so once I was like, I set a goal, because it was hard for me to get back on track, which you wouldn't think it would be for somebody who worked out for 15 plus years.
It is though.
It was. Mm-hmm. I was like, I don't want to. This is hard. Then I got injured. But anyway,
you get complacent.
Yeah. And it's hard to get back on track. But then once you're there, it's easier. But I had a goal to finish a 4-week. It was called 4 weeks for everybody. Anyway.
Yep.
And it was very like lighter weights, and it was much easier. So that was a good program to start with. But that was one of my goals. And I felt really good when I got to be like, I don't have to write this goal down because it's done. Now I'm on to the next workout, next goal. I don't even have my workout. I'm doing a lifting program right now. It's 6 weeks. No, it's 8 weeks. Sorry. I don't even have that written down because it's just part of my day now.
Yep.
It's not even needing to be a goal.
Yeah. I don't write that down ever because it's just part of my everyday routine. But now I'm a little setback, but I still go to the gym and just kind of like, I say peck off, which isn't true because I'm still doing some things, but it's just not the same intensity. And it's like boring, but anyway,
it's
so
good
time.
For you. So time.
Be on time.
Okay. My next pet peeve is, this is weird and no judgment if you do this. I just always hated this. because I am, my sister had children before. There's 3 of us. So my sister Jackie and I would get so annoyed because we didn't have kids yet. We were just aunties. And my oldest sister, Kim, she's been on the podcast before. You guys actually really loved her episode. When she
Thank
had
you.
kids, like her kids were like my kids.
Yeah.
Like Kenzie was like my baby. That's her oldest child.
For
And
sure.
same thing with Marley, but she would get friends and she would have her friends call my nieces, like my nieces would call her friends auntie.
Mm.
And like, oh, this is your cousin. And that's auntie this person and auntie Melissa. And like my kids don't call her auntie Melissa.
Nope.
Joey's kids do, but they grew up, they're cousins and they grew
Right.
up more like
They
siblings.
do, yeah.
That's different. That wouldn't annoy
Kenzie
me.
considers me her aunt, but that's just family wise, I think.
That's because
she'll
Kenzie's
say
been
that.
raised to think
Yeah,
anybody on the
true,
street is
right.
her aunt.
Well, thanks. No, I'm
No,
just,
I'm just
no.
kidding.
I know you're right though.
No,
She-
Melissa's
yeah,
family. So that would make sense to me. But like
yeah.
Kenzie,
'Cause Joey's
stop,
kids do,
Kenzie.
yeah.
Stop. If you're listening to this, Kenzie, I'm your aunt. Jacko's your aunt. Stop calling everybody else your aunt. we were possessive. But now since that time, I'm like, you see all these people are like, oh no, this is auntie this person.
Yeah.
And then a new friend comes into their life and they're like, oh, that's auntie this person. It's like, are you siblings? If
'Cause
the
you're
answer is
not.
no, don't say the auntie or uncle.
Yeah, Wyatt really doesn't do that. We have always called Eddie Headland Uncle Eddie.
Yeah.
So I think he just calls him Eddie now, but he'll refer to me like he'll say, "Oh, Uncle Eddie."
Yeah.
So but I mean, everybody has an Uncle Eddie.
Yeah. No, and when we grew up, I actually still call my one of my mom's friends, I was Jack, and I always said Uncle Jack.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
really like, I probably saw him more than most of my uncles. So this is what I'm saying. No judgment
Right.
if people do this. I just have a trigger.
I know you've always hated that.
Yes, because Kim. Because I was jealous, probably. Because people were calling, Kenzie was calling other. I'm like, I'm your aunt. I'm
Nobody
your aunt.
else.
Yeah. Okay, what's another one that is a pet peeve for you?
What did I say earlier? I mean, we could talk about this for hours.
A long
I'm
time.
Sure of it.
This is why I said don't give away all your pet peeves because this is part 1 of 7 probably.
Where's my list I sent you? Should have saved
You
it.
sent me a list? Oh,
Well, I
see
just
it.
rattled off 67 things on our Snapchat thing.
Oh, I got another one.
Slow drivers.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go
Slow
off.
drivers.
Go
and-
off.
Slow drivers, liars, and story embellishers. Which one would you like to talk about?
Oh, I think. Well, how about you just do both? Because slow drivers won't probably take you. We all agree.
Yeah, nobody likes
maybe
a
we
slow
don't,
driver.
but-
Yeah, we do. But
Or
sometimes
slow walkers.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. Like I'm in the grocery store and I'm like Mach 80 with my hair on fire. Nobody's got time for this crap.
Try to put us at Disney World.
Yeah. Oh,
Me and
gosh.
Lane are just like, we're getting filled with rage. It's like we're not in a hurry.
Or like
It's on
hair
vacation.
shows. Hair shows are terrible too. Like people are whapping into you with their little rollabout carts, and John used to kick them.
Roll about carts. Okay, what about slow drivers?
Yeah,
Same.
can't stand it. Same thing as slow walkers. Hate it.
And then go on the Pine Mountain Road. This is the road here. No one knows what that is because most people are not from our mountain who listen to the show.
No, but now we're gonna get some creepy serial killers.
Now everyone knows the road that I live by. I swear it's 55 miles per hour and there's never a car that goes 55.
No.
It's always under.
No. And if the speed limit's 55, you need to go like 65 or 70. I'm just saying.
Get your life together.
Yeah.
Like get a life. Okay, what was the wait? Oh, okay, story.
storyteller,
Yeah, okay. This one
yes.
we can both go off on.
Yeah. Like
And we're FBI agents.
sort of.
Yeah, we know all the evidence and we have receipts and all the things. So don't embellish stories. It's the truth.
I know, but nobody finds it as fun. So there's certain memes that we'll send back and forth. Like my best friend's FBI and she will find out things and whatever. Like we're
Yeah.
both very much the same way. But I can't stand when people embellish a story to be funny or cool. Like it's one thing when you like, because you and I will be way sarcastic and joking, but you know we're joking. But when someone's telling a story and they're like, oh yeah, on Tuesday, April 5th at 6:07 p.m. You know, something like that. I'm like, it wasn't at 6:07. It was legitimately 5:55. You're totally telling
Yeah,
me BS.
she's just very particular of that. I I can see where you're coming from because I'm similar.
I mean, that's just I'm being a little silly right now.
We're
but-
exaggerating, but
yeah.
we're both that way. But like, and it's not all the time, but like certain people that are always doing it,
Mhm.
we're just like, that's a lie. Why are you tapping? We're tapping over here if you're not
Well,
watching.
because I'm going to call Joey out because he's my cousin. 'Cause
Well, now
sometimes-
you just said we're talking about Joey.
No, I said I'm going to call him out because he's my cousin because he does it.
Yeah, Joey does it sometimes, but actually he barely ever does it anymore.
He truly
since
does it sometimes. And I'm like,
she's just
dude, no. That he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, no, it didn't.
sorry, Joey.
Yeah.
But
I don't think
that's
he
not
even
who
realizes it.
No, and that's not who she was talking about, by the way. I mean, we're talking about everyone in general
Yeah,
who does
right.
it, but that's not who you were just.
I could call another person out
Yeah.
too. I don't know that she would care or not. but
now
I'm
they know
always-
it's female.
Well, I'm always like,
Don't get
dude.
FBI like us.
But she calls me. She'll be like, oh my gosh, Melissa calls me out all the time but I'm like, I don't know why I'm like that. I don't want to be wired that way, you guys. It's very awful trying to be me.
Yeah, it's not easy being us, being
No.
so up on our high horse all the time.
Because we're so perfect. Not. I'm
No, but I
definitely
would not.
perfect.
I would never embellish a story like that. Like if you hear anything come from my mouth, it is going to be the truth.
Brutally honest. Sometimes it gets me in trouble.
Yeah.
I want to tell a story.
Okay.
So I was dating this guy.
I love this.
And he was talking about how he was fishing and this guy had given him this knife. And he's like, oh yeah, I was trout fishing and something about, I don't remember all the details. And I looked at him and he's like, oh, I bent over or whatever and the knife fell out. And I looked at him again and he went like this. Oh, you guys can't see me, but he went shh, like put his finger up to his mouth. I'm like, you're like not telling the true story. Like you still have this knife. It's not awesome.
What was the point?
I don't know. So you see what I'm saying? It's stuff like that like
I don't understand.
it wasn't funny. It wasn't relevant. It wasn't like you felt bad.
Right there.
Yeah.
Nail on the head is why?
Yeah. Where's the relevance to this story?
I
Like,
could
you're
get
really
you want to
making
be
it up.
kind to somebody and you maybe do a white lie like Joey probably is like, yeah, I really like that jumpsuit. When
Yeah,
he's probably
right.
like, this looks like you pulled it from the 70s. What are you doing wearing Free People?
Or you belong in prison.
or you belong in I told him the other day, I have a Free People purple jumpsuit and I freaking love it. But every time I put it on, I'm like, Joey's going to hate this because he's going to make fun of me and think I'm going to like work in the shop with my dad in the garage.
Yeah.
Like a
Michael
mechanic.
Myers suit.
And now I'm never going to be able to wear this thing. I'm going to wear it the next podcast that I host.
You should actually.
So you guys can help me. But anyways, Joey might lie to me and say, yes, that looks amazing on you. He says he will never lie to me about that.
I'm gonna say no. I think
Yeah.
Joey would tell you. He might say, well, you look great in it, but I don't like the outfit.
Yeah, I think
I feel like he's pretty honest with you with
he
that.
does like this, but then sometimes I'm like annoyed because I'm like, why am I taking advice from this man
Yeah.
who
'cause
knows nothing about fashion?
he doesn't.
He doesn't.
He's such a good guy.
And
though.
by the way, if I have a skirt that is short or like a dress that is short, hands down, or our jean shorts, hands down, that's what he's going to pick. Even if the
Yeah.
other outfit's cuter.
Right. Yep.
So it's like, I can't really trust him.
No.
Okay. Anyways, embellishing of stories. I just don't understand the point because here's the thing. If you're that person and you're like, oh, I kind of do that sometimes, it is so much easier. We can't do it because we would
No.
screw up all the time.
Yeah.
We're scared.
Yes.
Because I'm like, wait, I don't want to, like, if somebody
like you
asks
think
me
you
to
did
lie,
something- Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't like getting
Yeah,
in trouble.
No.
We're
No,
rule
definitely
followers
not.
ish.
Ish. Is right. Depends on the rule.
Because
No, but
in our 20s, we weren't rule
No,
followers.
what was it that I was supposed to lie about or something? I was like, I can't do it. What was it? I think a speeding ticket.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a speeding ticket, and oopsie, the sheriff told me to call in and you like they'll reduce it. This was during COVID. I had lived in Milwaukee, and I was like, with all due respect, sir, how can I fight a ticket that I'm 1,000% guilty of? And he's like, he was
Like, what?
he looked at me. He's like, okay, first of all, I've never pulled anybody over who's been as nice as you. I was like, thanks. I can be a real B word too. But
Oh, yeah.
I just was like, so I wasn't going to call in. And Roy made me, this is when I was dating Roy. And he's like, if you don't call in because of like your insurance and everything going up and they'll like reduce this ticket and then it's not on your record. I was sweating bullets on hold, like a Zoom call, by the way,
At least
with
it
the
was Zoom.
judge. Yeah. But I was like, I didn't even know what to say. And she's like, okay, well, we'll just put it as a parking ticket, whatever. It was like $175, which is fine.
Yeah.
I didn't want to pay it, but like I was super guilty of speeding.
I know.
So-
I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah.
I for
was
sure get
super
nervous.
Yeah.
That same thing happened to me, and I won't go into the story. I think I'll have Joey come on and tell the story because he is funnier at it, because I pulled myself over.
You did.
But we'll talk about that a different
Yeah,
time.
you totally
And
did.
all the kids were in the car and I'm preaching to them. Like, this is why you follow rules. Okay. Anyways, I have one more pet peeve, and if you want to do one more too, but I have no idea since the internet went out how long this is.
Yeah.
What does that say on there?
Where?
See the little red dot? Here, let me look. Yeah. Okay, one more pet peeve, and then we'll wrap it
I
up.
don't have any more. So usually we have the same pretty much.
Well, we'll see. I don't know what you think
Nail
about
biters
this.
either.
Huh? Oh, yeah. That's gross.
Yeah. It's
But I mean,
disgusting.
isn't
Yeah.
everyone think that?
Why it doesn't
I don't want to
anyway.
offend anyone by this, because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes people can pull it off, but it's very rare. There's like a 1% chance that you can pull this off as an adult woman.
What is it?
But calling your dad, like your actual
Daddy.
dad, daddy, like that's no. Why? Like if I called my dad right now, should we do it live? He'll definitely answer. He always answers.
We should.
Like,
But
hey,
you don't know what
daddy.
he's gonna say. Do it.
Yeah, I
Do it,
know,
see
but
what
we
he
don't.
does.
But then what if we have to edit if he swears?
Well,
Oh my
I
god!
just
Should we
saw-
do this?
I just
I
saw-
can't even do it. That's how cringy it is to
I just
me.
saw a thing where this lady was talking to her husband, and she called him daddy, and her dad answered, and her husband was like, he like mouthed, "I hate you" to her because he knew what she was doing.
Yeah,
And he was like, the dad was like, what the heck is going on?
that would be my dad.
So I feel like that's weird too. Like
I would embarrass my dad. I think he'd be embarrassed.
I think he would say, "What the f is wrong?"
He'd be
with
like,
you?"
who is this? Like, Patty?
Yeah. But see, that's
What if my
weird,
mom
too.
calls him daddy?
Like, I would be. That's also weird too.
That's
like,
also
you're calling
weird.
your spouse dad. Like, hey, daddy.
That's weird to me
Yeah,
too.
I feel
but
like you
I-
have daddy issues.
I don't know what it is, but I don't know why I don't even like it. But when I see an adult woman calling their dad daddy,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it just drives me insane. And I'm like, cringe. It makes me
Yeah.
cringe for them.
I mean, I don't like it either, but I've never really. I don't think I've ever called anybody daddy.
I don't know that I don't.
Even
I might
when I
have
was
called my
little?
daddy when I was little.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think when I was little, because I just wasn't around my dad. That's a whole other podcast.
That's another episode.
Yeah,
Maybe
but-
she has daddy issues. We'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
I don't. But,
She doesn't.
But
can
I
vouch
just
for
think
that.
it's super weird.
It's just weird.
Yeah. I don't like it
I
either.
think maybe it's
Should we call
because
Big Dave?
I'm scared too. I like literally can't. Well, I'll call Joey and say it. But that's not the
you
same
don't know what
thing.
he's gonna say either.
No, he was. Well, should
Joey's-
we? I could call Joey over calling my dad and saying it. Like my face would turn beet red. Do it on our pet peeves that
Yeah.
we're talking about currently.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Cool.
okay.
Yeah, I was
If
glad to be
people
on.
wanted to follow you, tell them how they can do that.
On Instagram, I think it's just Melissa Inglese, right?
You have to be correct, but I put it in the show notes because I'll make sure it's correct. But pull it up to make sure.
I think it's just Melissa Inglese.
But here's the thing: you should really follow her because she does post a lot of great tips when it comes to like fitness and recovery
Yeah.
and CrossFit.
I've got a couple
things.
links on there too. Like
It is.
if
It's
you-
Melissa Inglese, and how you spell Inglese is Inglese.
First name Melissa, Melissa.
I said that. I think they know how to spell Melissa.
Do you know how many people cannot spell my name, including my dad?
What does he spell it like?
Like M-A, one L,
Your
or
dad?
2 L's, one. Dude, for real.
Okay. So you got the spelling, and go in the show notes because I'll put her link for that. Is there any other? So you're Melissa Inglese on Facebook, Instagram.
Yep.
Is there
That's it.
anything else?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I don't
well,
think
thanks.
So. Thank you.
Thanks for coming to the podcast studio. Okay. See you
Our
guys.
Random talks.
I know it.
from
This was
Eminem.
fun though. Okay. See you next Tuesday. Peace out.
Did you pause it?
No, I'll just
have to
edit that part out.
Oh, funny.